Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for any zodiac that lands on this. Now, know that energy is fluid, so again, roles could be reversed, flip it, switch it, twist it. Just interpret the message as it best resonates for you. Never force anything. Now, always know also that the message usually goes towards the person that needs to hear the message the most. So if you're someone that is full of anxiety, and you're worried, well, this is definitely the right channel for you, because I don't just look at the storyline. I like to look at the shadow aspects of the person that, again, that we're describing within the reading, because the shadow aspects of ourselves are the parts of ourselves that we have disengaged from, disassociated from, the parts of ourselves that we've rejected. And that even though we've rejected them and we have now wear a mask in place of what we feel is defective, those situations and experiences that hold the same energetic vibration, the same karmic theme, winds up continuing to play out within our life until we actually take off that mask and integrate the shadow aspects of ourselves. So whether you're here to see whether your person really cares or whether you're going to get that job, one thing's for sure: if you don't heal, you'll always wonder whether or not that person really cares. And you'll care too much whether they care as well. Because when we have fear, that's what happens. When we don't believe that we can have something, we come from a place of fear, especially if we want our reality to look a certain way. So understand, your mind is your greatest tool. Your mind is able to transcend all time and space. So when we do healing, sometimes within my shadow coaching program, we'll do a lot of meditations. So if you join this, again, the coaching program, and you can't do the meditation group, I will send you the audio for it so you can do it on your own. Because a lot of times, again, healing, when we're talking about past life trauma, when we're talking about past lives, again, experiences from past lives that created that trauma, a lot of times we carry that energy into this life. So sometimes we say, it doesn't make sense to me why I'm this way and the rest of my family is a different way, right? And that's because a lot of times, all the time, actually, we carry over the karma. So healing, we do talk about past life. However, when we're integrating this shadow, we're pretty much healing who we are today, the parts of ourselves that we've detached and disowned. And so we can do this a lot of times through quantum jumping. And that's when we realize that there's many different realities that can play out in a single time. It depends on what we do. That's what karma is all about. Karma is the action, is the end result to the action that we took, whether we were conscious of the result that we were going to get or not. Quantum jumping is when we can become aware of all the different realities and choose the best reality that will work for us. When we are able to do this, we automatically are able to integrate the shadow aspects of ourselves. That's why these readings are so awesome. I feel like they're better than predictionary reading. They're better than any tarot card reading, because a lot of times the tarot is going to tell you what the person's going to do. And then the reader, as most all readers are healers, they will then say, well, this is what I feel. And they inject what they feel intuitively, what you need to do to balance out your situation, which is, this person's not a good person, so avoid them, or this person's lying to you, so be careful, or this person's trying to show you only part of their situation. They're only telling part of their situation. Again, so they're always going to warn you, because 99.999% of psychics are healers. They have the gift, again, to be able to see the different realities. So they'll interject their advisory. However, they won't tell you how to heal your wound. See, here on this channel, I am going to do that. I'm going to tell you how to not just figure out what your inner child wounds are, because again, a lot of times when we don't heal them, they show up. They all the time show up in our life, but all throughout our life. So we have to know where those wounds originated from. And a lot of times, again, that's going to be within your inner child. Not all the time, but most of the time. And then we want to actually integrate the shadow. And the shadow are the subconscious blocks. They come out within our behaviorisms and our habits. They're what blocks us from health, good health, obtaining wealth, and all around emotional fulfillment. So a lot of times we can see a person that does very well within their work. They have no problem making money, but they cannot have a successful relationship. They can't do it. Does that mean that they're defective? No, that means that they have wounds within that area. But again, it's more about how they feel about themselves, and that will come out within their behaviorisms. And that is what really blocks them from obtaining the relationship that they so desire. So it's a way that they keep getting in their own way. Now, we could also have someone that doesn't have a problem with relationships, but they can't make money. They feel that they can't make money. And so, and they get in their own way. So understand, it's about understanding how we get in our own way. That is how we're able to integrate the spiritual lesson. Without the awareness, without understanding first and foremost, what is the wound? What is the wound that we have? And a lot of times you can tell what that wound is within a storyline when it plays out. So, but going even deeper, we're going to look at the triggers. We're going to look at the spiritual blocks, which are the psychological blocks. We're going to look at hidden truths. We're going to go dive deep. And then we're going to ask the universe what we can do to integrate, to whether that's reparent or whether it's, again, do a ritual, or there's, again, a lot of times there is a holistic or a spiritual way to balance out your situation. And when I say spiritual, I'm also including psychological, because again, the mind, which is psychological, is what is on that spiritual realm. It can transcend time and space. And we know this because ESP is connection to the heart and mind. We can feel the connection when we tap into somebody, right? When we tap into someone that we know that cares about us, we know whether they're right here, and what we can feel when they're really far away. It's, again, their soul connections, soul ties. And on this channel, we'll talk about all the different types of soul family and why they're in our lives. Because a lot of times we're born into families that are karmic, that you're not going to have any type of relationship whatsoever with the family you're born into. If anything, you might even see them as enemies. They might see you as an enemy. And it's mainly because they think differently. Their emotional needs are different. There's a lot of different factors. But understand, those factors come together to teach, and to teach you a different perception, and as well as to teach you how to really develop self-mastery. So really, this channel is about overall healing. And I needed to say that because I jump on all the time and I do readings, but unless you understand the type of readings that they are, you're not going to get the full benefit. And again, if you're looking for coaching because you're someone that keeps getting in your own way, know that my coaching program comes with meditation and breath work, because you have to recondition your nervous system when you go through any traumatic experience. Again, up in our minds, right? It's again, when we have a wound and we haven't learned how to master it, well, and that wound plays out again and again and again in our life experiences, and we still haven't figured it out, obviously we're going to create a lot of tension and experience a lot of anxiety. So dealing with anxiety, because again, you've trained your body, your mind trains your body, because your body is your mind's faithful servant. So to recondition, we'd have to do breath work and meditation to get in the moment, get in the now. Otherwise, we're always coming from a place of what might happen, what could happen, what did happen. So again, getting in the moment. So knowing that you have to do those practices along with the shadow healing, and then reparenting, knowing what to do then. What action should you take in order to, again, get the best reality? If, again, many realities play out at one time, as I said earlier, what you would need to do to create that reality. And it's step-by-step program, and everybody's is usually different. However, a lot of times when we're on the spiritual channel, we understand that, again, energies match. So without further ado, and now, again, if you're interested in winning a free psychic reading with me, all you need to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and write the magic word. And the magic word will always be the way I start off the reading. And I always use my deck, the Psychic Soul Healer deck, to do that. Okay, because we're looking at the psychological and the emotional aspect of yourself. Now, I'm not going to take those just because I can take them. Though I could, because Prudence and Perseverance were the cards that fell out. So we'll hold on to those as well, but meaning like, see if it plays out within the story. For me, they do. And, you know, I do consider like my future a lot. And perseverance. It's a lot of times when you're creating yourself, there's a lot of people that try and stop you. There's a lot of situations that will unfold within your life that try to prevent you and take you off your mission. So it's, again, you have to persevere. And that's exactly where I am right now. You know, you lose friends. Sometimes people fall out of your life because you, as you go on a higher vibration, people are like still working through their, you know, spiritual blocks. We don't evolve at the same rate. Sometimes people come in for a day. Some people come in for a season. Sometimes people come in for a lifetime. It depends. All right, now let's see. The word that I was going to choose is empathy. Okay, so you're going to write the word empathy, which is a lot easier than those other two words, in your comment bar. You know, if I chose you to win, like in the drawing into winning a free psychic reading with me, then we will just correspond back and forth on YouTube. You'll know if I chose you if I wrote the word winner underneath your comment. Again, and the comment is going to be empathy. We're going to see how this energy plays out. I'll pick 3 cards from my deck just to get a little energy, spiritual energy. Naturalist. And diplomacy. So your energy right now, I feel like you're a highly sensitive person. You're an empathic person. You're an intuitive person. You're someone that cares a lot. Like, I feel like for some of you, and I know that this is going to be for a general few, that you guys are into like nature, like, and great causes, like for the environment. And so, again, you feel deeply, you're very motivated by your passions. And it seems very natural, like for you, to again be in this energy again, because you're a highly sensitive person. So I feel like you're not someone that can fake the funk. You're not someone that does surface. You're someone that's deep. And in this, people see that. Again, diplomacy, like you have that, but you also, again, are thinking a lot about your future and you're setting up your life the way that you want it to look. This is where you are. It's very high vibration. It's very high vibration because you're in your true self. And I know that because of naturalists. Again, the true self is when we just can, again, be able to go with the flow. And so, and that is knowing, like I said, when you evolve and you're on your journey, people just fall out of our life a lot of times. And I feel like people are viewing you different. This is the energy that I'm getting. It's that you're feeling extremely, like, again, in your passion, doing what you love. You're in your creative, again, empathy. That sensitivity is of the creative mind, that right brain, which is, again, when we're on our path and we're creating ourselves, it's a natural unfoldment process. So there is actually no roadmap. It's just, again, a feeling like intuitive, which is, again, this empath. And that is your language. So it does feel very natural. And understand there's many people that I do feel like are trying to throw you off your path. And that is, again, I pulled that energy before. But in this, I'm feeling like you're not being affected by it because you're realizing that people, again, actually do fall out of your life, and that leaves room for what is actually supposed to come in to your life. I just feel like maybe some friends that you thought were closer to you than they actually were, like you're seeing people for who they are. And the thing is, I can tell that you're a very, like, you're a spiritual person because you're following the practice of just observing, not reacting, just going with the flow. That's why I said you're kind of in your element, and everything that's happening, everyone sees that it doesn't really affect you, that you're just vibing at a high vibration, but understand it's triggering other people. So even though it's not affecting you, I like, again, directly, I feel like it's in the back of your mind. But people don't perceive you as that. They perceive that everything is fine. Like you think that everything is fine. Whether you do or not, that's something altogether different. Now, this is the energy of, again, your spiritual energy, which I like. Now, let's look at some triggers and see. Bluff. So calling your bluff was the most satisfying thing I have ever done. So I feel like, again, people know that you're strong. It's not that they don't know that you're strong, but for whatever reason, you're so paradox, which a lot of highly sensitive people are, a lot of empaths are. It can be extremely soft, but they could also be very hard. Their problem is balance usually. And so I feel that a lot of people thought that they were better friends with you as well, so that they could treat you a certain way. And what happened is you, again, called their bluff. Like you didn't really, when push came to shove, you, again, didn't do what they wanted you to do. And so I feel like that's where you called their bluff, and it was satisfying to you. Because like I said, I'm feeling like you're in a really good space and you're thinking about your future. You're thinking about where you're going to go, but you have people around you, like I said. And so we say, why does that happen? Well, if you're someone that didn't feel good about yourself, and you're triggering other people, part of it is actually they're showing you what your worth is. Number one, that you may not see your worth the way that they see your worth. They see something special in you. They can feel something special in you that they don't have. So that's number one. And then, but you've always had this. You've always had this. And so, but you've never believed that you've had it. So part of it is to see it, and then to get to see the situation differently. And another reason of why this would be happening is because you have to see yourself not be victimized by it. Empaths have a bad way of using their energy for other people. And then when that happens, they do not come from a high vibration over time, because then they get drained and then they get resentful. And so it's, again, you wouldn't be able to be diplomatic. You wouldn't be able to feel natural. You've, at this point, were like, well, whatever it is, like whatever the threat was, and I'm feeling like the threat was, just them not either being your friend, them not being around, them taking away something from you, and that didn't matter, because you, at the end of the day, you called their bluff. It was like, so if you even did that to me, it's like you didn't take me down. You didn't take me down. Like you didn't, I don't have to see myself victimized. So I'm feeling like, even though you may feel like things aren't happening in your life, these spiritual lessons are actually helping you get to the next level of your, of your soul's journey. And so, like I said, sometimes we have lulls where you don't really feel like you're producing that much, or you might feel that not a lot is going on. I feel like there's a lot happening spiritually, and you can feel that, but you're not seeing it on the outside, meaning you're not seeing the results. Understand you need to clear out what no longer serves in order for what is supposed to come in. And also, if people are like not supporting you, they're not going to allow you to be in your highest vibration around them, because they're going to get triggered, then you would obviously need to let that go, so that you're not stressful, and so that you're able to go with the flow. If you're stressed out, then you're in your mind, you're become detached, which happens again with empaths. So this situation was a big situation, because you had to, again, overcome how you were going to deal with people that you once thought were friends, that were once thought that you, again, meant more in their life than what they're actually showing you. And so, like I said, empaths tend to give a lot. Their depth of giving is deep. When they love, they really love. And so once you've invested, you could have been like, I've invested, it's hard for me to walk away from this toxic situation and stay. And we see a lot of times people stay in trauma bond relationships because of this. This is not what happened here. This is not what happened here. So whether this was a person that you were, again, romantically involved with, whether this was friends, I'm kind of feeling like it was straight across the board. I feel like it was everybody, because you're on your journey, you're going with the flow, and you're at the point where if it's not working in my life, it's not going, I can't keep it in my life. Okay, upside down. I felt I was living my life upside down without a way to straighten it. You kept me trapped in an endless cycle. So this is what people do, by the way, when they're gaslighting. So when people see your power, when people see your strength, and again, your gifts, but they don't think you see them, what they'll do is they'll gaslight you. And how they gaslight you is they don't compliment you. They don't acknowledge you. They won't give you credit for what you do. They'll actually take credit for what you do. And this is how they try to keep you upside down. If they were friends, or a coworker that you worked with, a friend will, again, not compliment you, but they might make you continually question whether or not you're good enough. And again, this is how a person gaslights, and this is how you would have stayed upside down. You would have stayed stuck. You would have stayed stuck in a situation. So that's really how you called their bluff, because I feel like you walked away. And you walked away to pursue your passion. And that's why you're able to go with the flow. And what you're showing is that you're not affected. That you are not affected. And that is what this message is. So it's, again, the spiritual energy that we're in is amazing. And it's amazing because you're actually, again, kind of like just going with the flow of life, regardless of what's happening. Now, if, again, like, I definitely felt like this was not just friends. I felt like this was a relationship. Obviously, with the friends, I don't feel like those people are in your life anymore. But when we're talking about a soul's mate, and again, that type of relationship, we tend to be a little bit more forgiving. I'm not saying that that's correct. What I'm saying is sometimes we are more forgiving. So we want to look and see whether or not you are more forgiving, and we want to see whether or not that person is remorseful. But before we do, I want to see what wounds we walked away from, or what wounds that were triggered by these friends, because understand that could still play out within your relationship. When we have relationship wounds, it's not usually a guy that can betray you, or betray you, and not just a female that can. It's both. It's anybody. It could be your lover, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a complete stranger, it could be someone at work. That karmic theme continues to play out. So this is why we want to look at the spiritual wound. This is why we want to look at the block. Again, like, what is the spiritual wound? What is it? It's like, well, inconsistent again. So inconsistency creates abandonment. It's also unconsciously telling you that you're not really that important, right? When a person's like inconsistent, it means that I'm half in, I'm half out. That I'm feeling like, and the inconsistency was with your friends too. This is why I said there was this energy of, where you were giving more, that you showed up more, that you cared more. And I don't really feel it was because the person, the people, again, whether it was one friend or like a bunch of friends within this small group did it to you. And that you gave this group majority of your time, or that one person a lot of your time. So that's why it's affected you. Again, where, you're always there for them and they're not really there for you. And so, but again, this is a way a person can keep you upside down. And when you walked away, you did call their bluff, because it's like, you act like this is all that I don't have other options. You act like I'm gonna like run back to you, or that I'm gonna be, it's like, no, it's like whatever you're thinking, it's not, is what you showed. But the trigger for you was, I'm all in and you're really not. I'm always there for you, but when I need somebody, it's very obvious that you're not like including me, that you don't need to include me, that you don't need to, again, give me credit. You don't need to, have a nice word, lift me up if I'm in a bad way. I'm always giving. And when I'm saying giving, it's not just things, it's obviously the emotional. And I feel like the person that you were with also was inconsistent. Now, whether you're dating them, whether they were just in your life, that again, they had one foot in, one foot out. Now I want to look more at the person that you were connected to. What was the wound? Withdraw. Okay, same freaking thing. Same thing. Withdraw. It's like that. It's like, if you notice, share your emotions, work on trust issues. It's safe to be open. So, this energy and this energy is pretty much the same thing. And that is what I felt. I felt like your friends were like this inconsistency, like they weren't showing up, then always holding back. But the person that you were with was also emotionally detached. They were withdrawn. So whether it was done intentionally, I don't feel with the person that you dated it was intentional. I feel like it's a wound, because again, person tends to withdraw when they have a lot of feelings and a lot of emotions and a lot of things are going on in their life. They have to withdraw to get, clear their minds. With these people, I feel like they knew exactly what they were doing. This energy right here, this like pretending like they're not doing anything wrong. If you look, and this angel looks like she is being an angel, but you could tell by her face that she's not being an angel. And the devil girl looks like she is, like, again, like, I know exactly what I'm doing. And so again, that, inconsistent, but it's a gaslighting, making you believe that you're not on the level that you are, because hey, you don't need it, you're too good, I need to take you down a few notches, because I think you're getting a little too bold for yourself, when really you weren't. It's just you were living your truth and other people aren't. And so when you are throwing shade on a person's shadow, they're not going to like it, because again, their mask falls off. And so you blow their cover. So again, this is withdrawal, but either way, because this is the same thing, it's like emotionally you didn't get what you needed. So it was almost like amplified because you weren't getting the appropriate balance. Because listen, if you're with a person, they're allowed to go through their process. Now, if you're relying on this person to give you all your emotional support, that would be where you're imbalanced. Because again, your friends weren't treating you with the right amount of, respect. They're on the same level that you were. So we see what the wounds are, and we also see what inconsistency and withdrawn is. It would trigger abandonment. And so what you did to like really reparent yourself is you showed up for yourself. You showed up for yourself, where again, you're going with the flow, you're creating yourself. Like you said, there's a cause, there's something bigger that you're created to. Like I said in the beginning, somebody is like really attached to the environment. Again, there could be a lot of different causes, but for whatever reason, I'm picking up, again, someone's really into the environment, really into nature, into like Greenpeace, into, into like just the ocean, into like the, Greenpeace and all that. And that would actually, they're feeding it so much, it's taking on an energy all of its own. And that's really what happens when we feed our passion. That energy becomes bigger than our problems, and it actually creates a whole new life. It takes us into a whole new life, which is why everyone's looking at you and you're triggering everyone, because it's like you're not affected, and they're stuck realizing that what they did was, like, you called their bluff. It's like you thought that this is who I am. I'm not any of those people. Now, let's see the hidden truths between you and your person. Because like I said, I think even though friends will like that, I think that again, sometimes people are only here for a certain amount of time. However, when it's a soulmate, twin flame, and like I said, I feel like this person was dealing with something, they were withdrawn. So let's see their hidden truth. Maybe they, again, will see something. I want you. I wish I could take back my words. I wish I could share my good news with you. So right off the bat, I'm feeling like there's a lot of passion. Passion, again, when it's a soulmate twin flame, again, that energy transcends all time and space. Again, what I was saying about in the real beginning of this video about how, our past life healing, right? A lot of times a past life karmic situation where we incarnate into this life with the wounds that we didn't heal from past. So this person is actually like I feel like started off possibly more like a karmic mate, but is actually going to step it up and be your twin flame. And I say that only because it's, again, I feel like they didn't give enough. They were withdrawn. They were dealing with something else. So there was this passion. It could have been a karmic mate, depending on what you would have done. But they wouldn't have been ready to actually be in a relationship with you. But because you didn't do that, you didn't pursue it, you didn't, again, even if they hinted that they wanted something, that you could intuitively know that they were not ready. Because of that, you broke that karma. And I believe that you quantum jumped and you said, well, I'm not going to be again with somebody that isn't 100% ready. I could tell, like, or doesn't know what they want because you're withdrawn, or you're so upset over past relationship, or dealing with whatever you're dealing with. But being that there's so much passion there, and it's a twin flame relationship, it's not uncommon, again, that it's the passion, it's the fire that's going to transmute the wounds. And it normally is a timing thing. It's a divine timing that brings two people that are like twin flames together. And also, like I said, it always has the potential to be a karmic man. I don't believe that this person that I'm tapping into was ready when you might have been ready. But I'm actually feeling like the divine timing that you meet will be the time that are both ready. So this person is planning on coming back, even though that the cards don't say that yet, but I can guarantee that they will, because psychically I feel it. Because this person wants you, and they're actually stuck in a place of regret because they're like, damn, I left it off, like I acted like I didn't care enough. Because again, I was withdrawn. It was like I seemed like I was preoccupied. But I'm leaving whatever situation I'm in, like, which is, I feel like they were in a relationship at one time. Maybe, again, the relationship was over, but it wasn't 100% over. They were grieving. So it's, again, now they're really over it, and they wish they could tell you their good news. And they know that they can, but they also know that they would have to be the one that comes back and apologizes. And they feel a little sheepish about it, is what I'm feeling. We need to let each other go. I feel like this was, again, what they battled with for a long time. I still feel like they're coming back. I feel like that's more like, I don't want to like have to apologize. I feel like I don't want to have to apologize. I also feel like so much time has gone by that I didn't do anything, though I can still feel the energetic connection. Just being near you is intoxicating. So it's, again, it's the more of that passion. So they want, like, understand with a twin flame, it's not uncommon to see like I hate you, I love you. Because with these soul relationships, they require us to surrender our ego. They do. Because our ego is the part of self that is the mask. It's the part of self that hurts and believes that things need to look a certain way. Relationships need to look a certain way. Unconditional love is really what we're made up of. It's the energy of the universe. It's the energy of God. It's the energy that connects us to each other. And it's what we strive for, again, to integrate shadows and get to that just place of unconditional love. So again, this relationship is a divine connection, but that doesn't mean it's an easy connection. It requires a lot of change. It requires where both parties have to look and take responsibility of their behaviorisms. It's where everyone has to surrender their ego and become vulnerable. And that's not easy to do, especially when we have wounds, but it's the passion, it's the fire that does it. And so it's, again, it's intoxicating, meaning I'm around you, I get filled with energy. To get filled with energy. No, but that's spirit. That's the God inside you. That's, again, the passion inside you, the fire inside you that makes us do stuff that we normally wouldn't do. So, but it's, again, the mind. That's why they say love will make you crazy, because it's, again, 1 second you're like, I don't want to do this, let's let each other go. And the next second it's like, I can't let you go, because you're fighting with your heart and your mind, logic and spirit, and there is none. It's time for me to heal now. So it's, again, it's brought them into a place of where they know that they need to heal, because they can feel that they're battling with themselves, and they're like, why am I battling with myself? I don't want to battle with myself anymore. I don't want to stay in this stuck energy, because that's really what they're doing. They're staying in this stuck energy. And they know that they have to be the one that apologizes, because they were the one that was withdrawn. They were the ones that, again, acted like they didn't care. So they actually are looking at you with respect, is what I'm feeling like, because they're like, well, I know that you're not going to do, I would love for you to do it so I don't have to come back and talk to you and apologize, because I feel sheepish, I feel stupid. I wish you would do it, but I understand why you won't. And I actually respect you, though I'm angry because of it, because I don't want to do it. So you see, they're like crazy, because they're going all over the place. And as more days go by, the more crazy they get. I run away to avoid facing my problems. That's what they're needing to heal. They needed to have a conversation. And like I said, they were withdrawn. And it's because they get so emotional, and that they don't come from the rational, reasoning, logical place that they're normally, that is their natural way of being. They actually came from an emotional standpoint, which they're not emotionally intelligent, and they suppress their emotions. So when someone suppresses their emotions, and then they're going to come from that place, they're going to be overly emotional. It's because they're seeing things from a distorted perception, and mainly because they're not viewing themselves from the right perception. But they at least know that they, again, are going to heal. They're just in this space right now that they're like, I'm crazy about this person. I'm crazy about this person. I want to be with this person, though I don't want to have to do the work to be with this person, because it's hard, because then I actually have to look at myself, and I don't really want to do that. So I wanted to look and see what the universe tells us to do, again, to deal with this situation. And I want to see how you feel about them after they figure it out. Or does this relationship have a chance? Because, again, usually when it's a twin flame relationship and there's this much passion towards it, because this is what this person thinks, because they're actually have no control over it, then can it change? Can it work? A lot of times it can. Okay, serenity. Through love, release the inner work. I know peace. I have a gentle view of life and welcome every step of confidence. I remain brave in the face of fear and have the wisdom to let the universe do its work. So through love, release the inner work. So what it is when you're dealing with a soulmate, any soul family, it's again, the recognition, the soul recognition is, again, you feel the energy of love. The person feels like comfort, they feel like home. So it's, again, so what it's saying is release anything that's not that, right? And it's through getting into that place of love. And this person is a reflection of that, even though you may not like what they showed you. And that it's to, it says, welcome every step with confidence. Understand that this person does have feelings for you, but if you're going to also be fearful, if you're also going to look for problems, it's look fear in the face. Yes, it's scary to be vulnerable, but you know, the universe is unconditional love, as I said earlier. You are unconditional love. That person is unconditional love. When you continue to go back to that space of unconditional love, what happens is all those triggers, all those woulda, shoulda, couldas, all those it should have been this way, that way, the other way, it all dissipates, it all goes away, because what remains is only the truth. And the truth is, again, unconditional love. And this is what it's saying. It's like, find your serenity, get out of your head, let go of whatever, if it's going to work, because the universe is God. Okay, God is the universe, it's ubiquitous, and its job is to work through us. So we need to be in alignment with exactly what it is that we want. Your person is all over the place. They want it, they don't want it, they're fighting with themselves. They know that they at least need to heal. But what they really need to heal is to let go of all those perceptions, and again, and you know, not just perceptions, but like their beliefs of how things should be. They're so rigid and just be. And you, if you care about this person, you too would need to do that. Because the universe, again, will always bring you to like the energy that you're holding, but it's not, what'll happen is you'll continually go back and forth. You stay in this stuck energy, because it's like, I care about this person, they are my soulmate, I like them, but it's like I can't forgive them, or I like them, but I don't want to be the one to forgive. It's like everyone's got to surrender their ego. One more from this deck, and then I wanted to look and see also like how you felt. Inner work. See, inner work, everything's inner work. That's how I know that this is a soulmate twin flame relationship, because everything is calling for inner work. God brings me ideal situations from my inner healing. Didn't I say this? Okay, as I become aware of my weaknesses, I turn them into strength. I direct my thoughts towards the light and see the positive side in every stage of my life. Darkness turns into courage. Thus, I get stronger. So understand, it's like, again, the inner work is that our twin flame, it's the hard relationship. But understand, we wouldn't do it unless there was a lot of passion, and this person has a lot of passion for you. So it's again, but it's inevitably bringing them to their healing, which inevitably brings them to this unconditional love, right? But they have to do the inner work. And so we'll see again, how do you feel really fast? I want to use this deck, and then I want to see the actual outcome of the situation. I just need a few like words to see how you're like what does the universe tell you to do? How do you feel about the relationship? Like your point of view, because this was pretty much all like how they were treating you was their point of view, but really I feel like again their inner truths, and then really like what to do to heal on their part would be these things. Now you're a mirror of whom what comes into your life, so you would also need to do these two things. However, for just a little bit of a different energy, just to see again, is there anything else that you should know? That would be the best. Present moment, be in the moment, meaning if you want to give this person a chance, you can't be thinking about what they did, how they did, what they might do. It's again, be in the moment. And that's really hard to do, because remember, when we have a spiritual block, we have anxiety, and it automatically, we get up in our head and we try and find a solution, and our brain chatter, and then what happens is we can get triggered really easily. So it's again doing the inner work, where it's for you, it really is all about, you know, getting to this place of surrender, so you can come and be in a space of serenity, so that you can be open to receiving, because this person is your soulmate twin flame. It's not that they're not, if you want to be with them. However, as I said, difficult relationship calls for a lot of inner work. You have to be ready for it, and you have to learn how to be present. That might be something that's difficult for you. And identity, keep your own identity. Meaning, again, a lot of times when we have an imbalanced relationship, we tend to lose ourselves, and we lose ourselves in, trying to fix it, trying to be too perfect, giving too much time to the relationship. Keep your identity, you keep your balance. Again, we do our inner work by not losing ourselves. We can do our inner work by realizing that the person that's coming into our life, that we have feelings for, that we actually want in our life, if they're triggering us, to realize that those triggers are ours. And again, we need to look and see what they are, what it's doing, and get to the place where we're at peace. Like I said, that's really what it is. Don't lose your way, because I feel as if when your person withdraws, they again have a hard time communicating. So you might be like, well, what can I do to fix it? Or how can it's again, don't lose your way. Because when you walked away and you're feeding your, well, or like who you are, becoming who you are, feeding your passions is what I'm trying to get at. You're becoming yourself, and that's inevitably what is making people look at you differently. This is what gave, you the respect, earn the respect from this particular person. So those are things that you would need to do. And I'm just curious. I already know, like, this is a soulmate twin flame relationship, but unless I miss you, no matter what it looks like on the outside, I've become good at hiding my true feelings. So it's like you miss this person. It's like I just feel like you've been hurt, and you're like, I'm not going to look vulnerable. It's like you already acted like you don't care. I'm not going to look even more stupid. I can already have that wound. So I'm not going to do it. And that's, really what it is. It's like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to act like everything's fine. And what is the karmic spiritual message? What were we supposed to learn from this story? Or what were you supposed to learn if this was your story? What were you supposed to learn? Let's see. Mirrors. So I'm assuming, again, your person is coming into your life. It shows mirror of your wounds, right? So it's to get into really your own shadow healing. But it is, I wish you could see that we are mirroring each other right now, so that they're actually feeling the same thing. But it's again bringing up all those wounds, and in order for us to look at them so we can integrate them and to evolve back to love. Again, that person's helping us. So that's why this has happened. And that's why I said, I don't even need to pull another one, because it's like, that's twin flame energy, right? It's again, we're mirroring each other, even though there might be a runner and a chaser. The wounds are the same. They might play out a little bit differently within the behaviorisms, but you both miss each other. You both are doing the inner healing, maybe for different reasons, but nevertheless, getting back to a place of unconditional love. And we learn all about unconditional love through our soulmate twin flame, because we just can't walk away from them. They're like, we want to walk away a lot of times, but it's like we can't, because it's a divine love. We want to walk away because it's hard, it's difficult, they trigger us. But again, in the end of the day, we say, I can't live with you, I can't live without you. That's make me feel crazy, but I'm crazy about you. The paradox is unreal. The fire and ice, the transmutation of those wounds can only be really done through this twin flame soulmate connection, because a lot of times their journey is to do something together. Now, that didn't say that here, because we're not at that phase yet. However, this is how it usually begins. Now, there'll be many, many, many different lessons, and those lessons both parties will have to again pass in order to, get to the next level. The next level is that bliss stage, which is you're just in this space of unconditional love all the time. Now I'm going to leave it there. Now, if you resonated with this video, again, this video is going to be for anybody that resonated with it. So all zodiac So again, if you resonated with it, do those 3 things that I said in the beginning of the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the magic word in your comment bar. And like I said, you'll know if I chose you if I comment underneath. And the day of the actual live stream, which is how I will do the readings, I do all the readings live, you'll get the link. The link I post right where we've been corresponding back and forth on YouTube. All right, I'll talk to you guys all soon. Bye.